And the door's closed.
And the door's closed.
Hi, mate.
How you doing,
Welcome back. All right.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, really good.
Good.
Yeah, really good. How about you?
Yeah. I've been better.
I know.
I've been better. But yeah, we're here. We're still going. Yeah. Long weekend, mate.
Yeah,
Long
that's
weekend,
great.
and today is probably a good thing.
Okay.
So yes.
So now it's time for rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much rest. As much rest as you can get. Yeah.
I'd say there's something though. I went to a place called Crowland on Friday.
Okay.
And so Peterborough is like class Cambridgeshire or Lincolnshire. It's like
depending on which side you sit on. Yeah.
So I was on the more Lincolnshire side.
Okay.
And Crowland is basically a place, the most boring place in the world. Jack shit there.
Yeah.
But I rented one of these pods, like a dome.
Yeah.
It's like a glamping room, but it had everything in, like cooker and TV, fire. Didn't need a fire. Hot tub was outside. Sun lounges, barbecue, fire pit, the works. Honestly, the best time I had. It was my best mate's daughter's 21st.
Yeah.
So I went for that. But it was just nice to actually have that bit of R&R.
I saw your Facebook picture with the picture of the hot tub. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you see, makes people
I
jealous.
could do something like that. Yeah.
Well, this is what we're going to get onto, man.
Yeah.
I want to talk about you.
Okay.
I want to talk about you. Tell me what's going on, man, because I'm feeling the energy shift.
Yeah, made massive dip this weekend. Lots of factors around it. Charity-based stuff that has come to a head that probably should have come to a head sooner than it did.
Sure.
But it left me in a position on Saturday where I had a crisis of confidence, I think you can call it. You know, you sort of sit there thinking, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decisions? Am I best suited for being where I am?
Got it.
And at some point Saturday afternoon, I had a breakdown. We call it a breakdown. I was in floods of tears. Didn't know where next best to go in terms of what I was doing, and spoke. I'll say speak. I did it from behind a keyboard on my phone. Dropped a message to the committee saying I'm starting to question me, what I'm doing, and is the charity going in the right direction under my leadership.
Sure.
So yeah, I spent the majority of Saturday crying in the garage. But yeah, still not 100% past where I was thinking on Saturday. I think I've learnt quite a bit about myself over the weekend in terms of who I am and how I deal with things, and trying not to be a people pleaser.
And I think that's one of the key things, isn't it? Please people, you forget
everybody happy, and it doesn't work.
No.
And then you end up in a state like I was on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that comes obviously challenges about having to convince yourself to feel better.
Yeah.
Obviously burying your head in the sand is not the ideal way of ever dealing with stuff like this. This is basically what we preach, right?
Yeah.
One thing I mentioned to you yesterday was like, we give out advice, but do we take our own?
Mate, I'm the worst at it. For like you say, for as much as we preach about it in here and what we do in speaking out, saying how you feel, getting the support from people around you, I don't do it still. And the wife and I had a very frank conversation about that at the weekend.
Sure.
Because she saw what I put out as a sort of a snap reaction to something that happened. And I was like, in the midst of it all, I'm like, look, this has been weeks and months sat festering in my head.
Yeah.
And yeah, but again, she's like, well, you don't tell me. She said, you had a conversation with somebody on the phone last week, and she said, you gave them some really, really good advice. And she said, I could tell that they were listening to what you were saying and they took your advice on board. She said, but for fuck's sake, you need to do that yourself. And listen to what you're telling other people, and also listen to what other people are telling you.
Yeah.
So
it's hard. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, it's massive.
The thing is, it's basically like talking yourself out of a situation. But the thing is, it's hard to imagine yourself giving yourself that advice as well. Yeah. Because you're not over there, you're here.
Yeah.
Right? You're not someone talking to yourself, you are literally you. And I can relate to that on many occasions. But now, how are you dealing with things now? What's your angle?
It all comes back to, we spoke about here before, and about being in that goldfish bowl, and you can't see out what everybody else sees, you don't see, because you're so tunnel vision in where you want to go and what you want to do with things, and you convince yourself that the way you're doing it is the best way. But sometimes you've got to take that little step out and go, right, let's look at this as an outsider and what would they suggest, what would they be doing, and look at the bigger thing. But yeah, I did say that I was going to take a couple of weeks away from it, mate. That lasted about 23 hours.
Yeah, you mentioned.
With other stuff that's followed on from that, one stuff that we sort of working on to put the wheel back on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to take a little bit of time, and I have to take that little step aside rather than backwards. Just take a step aside for a little bit. Still do the bits that I need to do and the day-to-day stuff, but just not get so invested in everything, and just leave things to people to sort.
Sure.
You know, like I said, we've got people in place doing stuff that needs to be done, and it's kind of like I've spoke about it with the lads before. You sort of like, it's your baby, and you're very reluctant on handing it over and giving a little bit of slack. And I thought I got over that, and I thought I was like, yeah, I can deal with it. And then he still can't, and he can't, like, oh fuck, just let it go. So yeah, a lot of soul searching in the last 48 hours.
And that's a lot of control though, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Because you know it's your baby, you want it to be, it needs to be nurtured in the way you want it to be nurtured, right?
Yeah.
Same with business, it's the same with your own life, you know, it's got to be the way you want it.
Yeah.
And to give that control to somebody else and say, right, I want you to deal with it, and just shut your eyes and turn the other way, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It won't. Naturally, that's how we're built.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever go, just do that.
No.
You've always got one eye on it, and you're always keeping a watchful eye from a distance on it. But
fuck's sake, if you'd stepped away from this entirely, it wouldn't be back and forth in my eyes. It would be, because I know you're the main guy. For me, you're the main guy. And you always have since day dot. Now, my involvement has been somewhat here and there because I know I couldn't commit.
Yeah.
Right. So, but what I have seen is like the tangent it's gone off on. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone that way, and it's still going that way.
Yeah.
I know when it comes to control, you want things to be better and more. Probably, obviously, people can't see what happens behind closed doors as well, especially in a business or a charity, because it's what people see on the outside. It's sort of smooth running. It's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of important cogs within that to make it work, and if they're oiled right.
Yeah, it's
what
like I say, there's a multitude of moving parts, isn't it? It's not just me. There are a lot of other people I've got to think of and consider, and like you say, sort of leave them to do what they're going to do. And bizarrely, we had a committee meeting on Friday, and it's probably the most structured and best committee meeting we've had. And maybe that was part of it. When I came away from it, I'm like, yeah, okay, things are in a good place. And then I had the feelings I had on Saturday. We did a walk Saturday morning. I was fine. There was not a problem. I was wandering around, and I sort of stepped away thinking, doesn't need me now. And that's where my head was at. It was, I've got to that point. For like I say, the last couple of weeks and months, this has been sort of sitting in the back of my head. At some point, am I going to be in a position where I can say, I can step down from what I'm doing and let somebody else take over, because I know I've left it in the best possible place for them to go. And whether that was conflicting with me having this moment of, oh fuck me, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah. It's
probably thought, well, yeah, I could walk away now because I don't think what I'm doing is the right thing, but there are others on board now that do know what they're doing, and I can push it off onto them. And then had a few conversations Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and everyone was like, look, you need to have a think about this, just take some time out, because it's the wrong decision to make. You're doing it for the wrong reasons, but at the same time, if they're your reasons, then so be it.
They're your reasons,
yeah. But I've kind of sort of like, yeah, okay. And off the back of what I said, things have happened, and which has kind of taken a little bit of pressure off what I was dealing with and what I was coping with. I was sort of harbouring things for other people that I didn't need to. And like I say, trying to please everybody. But off the back of what I did on Saturday, things have come out and things have been addressed. So part of my stresses have gone along with that. Yeah, it's been fucking chaotic 48 hours, but out of that madness has come some clarity.
Yeah.
To the point where yesterday morning, last Sunday night, I probably had the best night to do I've had in ages.
Wow.
And woke up Monday morning thinking, okay, there's a little bit of clarity again now. I can see where I'm going and what I need to do. And yeah, I just need to refocus that.
Did you find yourself at any point burying your head in the sand?
Oh, massively, mate, yeah. And like I say, for the last couple of weeks I have been.
Yeah. And was that just down to making sure that everyone was happy?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the conflict, you didn't want any conflict.
Yeah.
Got
And I think it's weird because obviously doing my other job, you learn about your management style and how you are. And I'm not completely laissez-faire, but I'm on that side of the management
Sure.
approach where I'm quite happy for. I'll make the decisions when I need to make the decisions, and I'm quite happy to sort of say this is what we're doing, and I'll take the brunt of that. And if it's wrong, it's on me, and I can live with that. But at the same time, I'm very keen to have everybody else's opinions and what they think, and especially when people know more about stuff than I do. That's your baby, you.
Yeah, it's just taking a bit of advice, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But then with that comes, well, if I listen to so and so, then I've got to listen to the other side, and I've got to listen to this person, and finding that balance of keeping everybody, especially if there are disagreements between the 3, 4 sides, whoever it is, that's where I struggle, and that's where I get to the point where bring it to me. You bring your concerns to me. You bring your concerns to me. I'll hold them. I'll deal with them, and I'll try and process it, which is the fucking wrong way.
But what you're basically doing is putting all that weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
When realistically, it needs to be a group effort, and everybody needs to get in and say, right, these are the issues. Let's sort it out together.
Yeah. Right? And I think especially in doing what we do, I mean, you know as well as we have blokes come to us and we'd have a conversation. So then you're taking on their issues and their troubles, and you're kind of trying to relate to what they're going through and trying to give them the advice. And this is what have we thought about doing this? Have we considered this? So then on top of the day-to-day stuff of running it, work, and then taking everybody else's stuff on as well, it very quickly gets very heavy.
Would you say you're an empath?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's obviously one of the things that an empath does is takes on everyone else's shit. Yeah. Subconsciously.
You know, you think, oh, I'm a sponge, I can take that, I'll just soak it up, I'll deal with it. And for so many weeks and months, you're fine, you get on with it, and then all of a sudden something will happen, and it could be the most simple thing in the world, and the house of cards falls down, and you're like, oh, fuck, where do I go from here?
If you think about it, it only takes one sock for a suitcase to explode, right?
Yeah.
And that's a real small thing, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's the boiling point. And sometimes you do, this is where, obviously now you've learnt your lesson.
Yeah.
As humans, we will do it again.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. We'll do it again. But the thing is that you've addressed it, you've recognised it, and you've done the right thing, and you said, I'm going to step away for a bit. I need to just have that 23 hours.
A refreshing 23 hours.
Yeah. So what's your plan of action? I mean, like, if you were going to give that advice to me, what would you say?
My plan of action, I am kind of still a little bit distant away from things. I've put things in place for a fortnight's time where we can get back together around a table and address things. Because I think it's important that everybody has a little bit of time to digest what's been said and what's gone on and everything else. And then rather than go into it raw and emotional, we've had time to put thinking heads on and sort some things out in our own heads and come back to it focused and know where we're going. So I think that's probably my advice would be is you can't just react on a gut. You've got to give it that time to... I mean, I played out probably about 50, 60 different scenarios over the weekend about where things were going. But I think that was a good in itself, in that you've, thought about that, okay, can we cover that off? Is there something I'm missing here? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? So you've got to have the bigger picture. You've got to have all the pieces for the jigsaw. But yeah, don't rush into a decision. Don't make a hasty message. Unless, like I say, it might not necessarily... It'll appear to other people as hasty, but if you haven't spoken about it, it is hasty.
It is hasty.
But for everybody else, rather than you. And like I say, and that's where my biggest downfall was again, because I hadn't spoken about it or aired it prior to that. I just let it get to me, and I blew off.
See, now, the lesson I've learned from you there as well is to talk about it. Because it's important to just, even if it's the slightest opinion, just to get that little bit of an opinion to say, right, okay, have you tried this? Or how about maybe talking to this person about that solution and see if there is one? So, do you think you feel a lot better in comparison to how you were over the weekend?
Compared to how I was on Saturday, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still not anywhere near where I want or need to be, I don't think. But I think, it's taking that time again, like I say, take the time away a little bit, address things, deal with stuff. The important, urgent, day-to-day stuff has got to be done, and that's the same as everybody in every walk of life. You can't just put everything on hold whilst you're sorting that out. But it's important, I think, to have that balance of, right, does that need to be done now, or can I give it that couple of weeks and then say, right, even if it's just I'll come back to you, leave it with me, I'll come back to you, I haven't forgotten about it, I'll address it and I'll come back.
Sure. It's the acknowledgement, right?
Yeah. Because then you and it almost gives you a little bit of focus out the other side, right? Okay, let's get this sorted, and then I can commit fully to that, and I can give that what it deserves. So yeah, just take that time and put things in perspective.
Do you ever list stuff? Like if you've got a lot of things going on, do you ever like put them down on paper and actually list them?
I never used to do it, and Will mentioned it many podcast episodes ago about journaling and things.
Yeah.
And I think that falls into the same sort of thing. So
it does. Yeah.
Not necessarily how your thoughts and feelings are, but have a structure, because then you can just tick it off, can't you? You've done it, you tick it off, and then you're not thinking, I've forgotten something. My issue is I probably need a diary for my diary. That's the joke the wife and I have, is that she needs a diary for her diary, and probably a diary for that one as well, because you write things down, then you forget to check.
Of course.
So yeah.
But you can save voice notes as well. This is something I do.
Yeah, I think that's something I've got to look at as well.
Yeah.
I'm very good at organising other people's stuff.
When it's your own.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get it. See, I went through running business. It's not easy to do, and you've got phone call after phone call after phone call. You've got even right now while I'm on the phone to you, look, it's just happening.
Yeah.
But I know that's going to be on my phone, so I don't have to worry about it. I can call them back. If I started to focus on just remembering everything, I'd go to bed and I wouldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Because they would just literally be going in my mind constantly throughout the night. So probably about 2-3 years ago, I started writing them down, journaling what I need to do the next day. Come 5:30, 6 o'clock. After that, I don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is once you constantly think about something, you don't rest. Your mind isn't rest. No. It's a subconscious thing. So the listing, the journaling actually does benefit me, even to this day now. Yeah. Now 5 o'clock done, I'm out.
Yeah.
All right, all my notes start from quarter to 5, or during the day, depending on what it is, if I'm going to be bothered to do it today. Nothing is more important than me. Yeah. Yeah. Because if I don't work, mentally...
Nothing else works.
Nothing else will.
And I think we had that conversation yesterday, kind of thing, we're a charity, so in other groups, in other charities' eyes, we do this full time. When we don't, we all have to fit in full-time work, family life, everything around it. And I think part of where I need to be in the direction and the sort of guidance is at 6 o'clock we stop.
Yeah.
Unless it's an absolute end of the world emergency, 6 o'clock we shut off.
Your own personal boundaries.
Devices, emails, laptops, whatever, they go off and we pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we're not an emergency service. As much as we want to help as many people as we can, if we're not in that position to do it mentally, we're not going to be any use to anybody.
Yeah.
So I think another thing from that is just switch off, spend the time at home with the kids, and on Saturday, part of my sort of tearful rant to the wife was, we had the holiday in Mexico, and we had an amazing 2 weeks, family time, without any mega interruptions. I mean, granted, I'll still check my phone and stuff.
I know you did. Naughty mate.
But it made me realise that, you know what, I am doing too much.
Yeah.
And I'm missing the kids and the wife at home doing stuff with them. And, to the point, after what happened on Saturday, we went out for a walk on Sunday, took the dog out, took Tilly out with us, took the kids out. We had a really nice walk, nice drink in the sunshine, cleared heads, we had a good conversation, came back and I was like, okay, that's helped a lot in where I was. So Dan's promise going forward is 6 o'clock every night.
That's good. It's good to set those boundaries for yourself. It's so fucking important.
Yeah.
Because you are working full time. Even I sometimes think, how the fuck do you do it? Yeah. I struggle with the time I've got, and I don't do far as much as you do.
Yeah, and I think, that's not just me. That's my that'll be my mission statement, if you want to call it that, to everybody else that's involved with this. Is that we can only do so much, and whilst we're giving up our own spare time to do this, then we need to be mindful of that and recognise that if we can't fix it tonight, we'll fix it tomorrow. Yeah. Or it might not be able to be fixed by us. So unless we can immediately sort something, it ain't going anywhere till tomorrow. So 6 o'clock.
And you also got to think about other charities as well. They have a start time and a finish time of the day.
Yeah.
You know, we're not 24 hours.
And you know, like I say, the other charities are full time, so they don't have to balance work or a full time job as well as that. So they can dedicate their 8 hours to the charity and not have any issues. Whereas we're doing everything else and trying to do what we're doing with this. So yeah.
I have to say though, you're probably one of the most hardest working people I know. I've seen it, and you just don't stop.
Yeah.
But with that, this is what's happening.
This is the problem.
It's a knock-on effect. So now it's time to obviously reevaluate things, and have that time just to separate yourself and just look from outside.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably going to be a bit. Oh, it's deserved for one. You need a bit of a break.
Yeah, probably. Like I say, well, not probably, definitely. That I should have had this conversation weeks ago and said, look, okay, I know I'm going on holiday. I know I've got this, but I need a little bit of space as well around it. I probably wouldn't have been in the state I was in on Saturday.
Yeah.
If I'd done that. But yeah, like
well,
say, that's the learning
plan, wasn't it? You weren't going to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the learning point. That's the, you know, and yeah, it was going to be right from Saturday. I was taking a month away from it, and here we are. Unfortunately, there's other stuff that's happened that we're addressing and we're going to deal with. But it just meant that my break was a little bit short than I planned, albeit it's still a not full hands-on Dan for the next couple of weeks.
Sure.
And I made that promise at home as well, so I've got to stick to it.
And I think it's important you do.
Yeah.
And look, I also want you to know that you're not on your own here. So you got me. If you ever need that backup, that support, whatever. I know I'm not around all the time, but whatever I can do to support you, I will.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I appreciate it.
Just pick up the phone.
Yeah, and I mean you've been here from day dot with me with the stuff that we've done. So yeah, I know that, and sometimes you don't recognise it. You know it's there, but you don't really recognise it. And
I get that.
That's what the key bit is. You know, you get so many people say, "Oh, if you need anything, give me a shout," and it kind of like, yeah, but that's not gonna happen, is it?
Yeah.
You are one of the people that in my world, in my contacts, that I know that if I was to pick the phone up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, there'd be a message or I'll come back to you. You know, just sit tight. And I think the more you can trust that when people offer it, the better. And it's building that support network, isn't it? And like you say, you come into contact with so many people that, and unfortunately, it's one of the, until you actually lean on them, you don't know. But then, that's.
I learned exactly that when I was in hospital. You know, who could I rely on? Who could I actually? Who's going to come and see me?
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
Yeah.
I actually didn't want anyone to come and see me, and the reason why that was 2 reasons. One, I didn't want to see me in that state.
Yeah.
And secondly, I really didn't want anyone catching anything because it was near the winter.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it sounds a bit silly, but I didn't. And the thing is, they come into hospital to see me, and then they go out with some kind of cold or COVID or anything like that, and that I'll be like, shit.
Yeah.
That's down to me.
Or they bring something in.
Yeah. And then I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But you do have to be a bit selfish sometimes, and I learned that I probably, bar 2 people who I sent home and told them never to come back again.
Get out.
I think everyone's been exactly what I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
You know, called me, texted me, checked in, you know, when I needed it.
Yeah.
And even when I was out of hospital.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it for me was fight or flight kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I chose to fly.
Yeah.
But that was my decision. I mean, you setting up boundaries is something we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
And my boundary was to not get out, to get out of hospital and not work my ass off. That's boundary number 1.
Yeah.
5 o'clock's my cut off.
Yeah.
That's it. All these little things, and also communicate.
Yeah.
If I feel like shit, I'm saying it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it, mate. You know, you can't say that enough, can you? And again, I need to practice what I preach. But yeah, you have to have that voice and have to have the understanding that you're not going to look like a plonker when you put your hand up and say, I'm struggling here, I need some help, or this has bothered me, can we have a chat about it? But yeah, that's where we are. That's the weekend in the Phillips household and the back and forth world. But yeah, without getting and revealing all the details and everything else that's gone on, there are people involved, and you know who you are, and I don't want any of what's happened to ruin any friendships and things like that that have been formed between everybody within the group.
Sure.
because that's not what we're here for. That's going completely against what the organisation is all about.
Right.
You know, yes, people have responsibilities and they have to take accountability of things that have been said and done, and that applies to everybody. But at the same time, you can't let that undo the bonds that have been formed over the last couple of years, because there are some really tight friendships.
There is. I've seen it.
You know, and yeah, that's the next thing I've got to address, and trying to repair some of those breakdowns that have happened.
Cracks.
Yeah.
Let's call them cracks.
Yeah, little fractures that
Yeah.
we need to sort of address. And I just hope that over the next couple of weeks we can sort that.
I think with the fact that you actually just opened up about this is going to be a good thing for you, because this is probably one of the most deepest chats we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. For you,
Yeah,
especially.
We do stories each week, and we dick about and we take the piss, and this is one of those weeks where taking the piss probably doesn't cover it.
No,
To the,
I
you know,
think
that
this is
needs
probably about
a-
1,000 love sponsors.
Oh god, yeah. This could be the Love Spuds special, couldn't it? But let's not get started on Love Spuds this week. We'll be here for a fortnight. But yeah, it's one of those. It needed to be done, and like I said to you yesterday, this will probably do me good. And I can feel it now. Sort of, you know, yeah, it's still raw. I'm still feeling quite fighting back the tears a little bit, but it needs to be done. It needs to be said. And there are other things that need to be said, and they need to be said behind closed doors to others.
Yeah.
However, yeah, this is my sort of opportunity to sort of say, right, I'm still here. This is why I've done it. This is why I've said it. But there's a reason for it, and let's get the jockey back on the horse.
Do it, and I'm proud of you, mate. I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you, mate.
The thing is, sometimes recognising it is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Knowing that you got to say, "Fuck this shit. I need to take a step back," and it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
There's been time and time again that so many people have just not done that, and it's boiling point. They crack. Friendships, companies, businesses, charities just disband because of it.
Yeah.
The fact that you recognise it, took that step back and thought, right,
yeah,
we can solve this.
One of the things in my head on Saturday, like I said, I was sort of like, fuck me, I can't do this anymore. I'm not good enough. There's somebody else that can do a better job than me. And I mean, remember months ago, I had a bit of a wobble at home, and I'm like, well, I can't let this charity fail, because we're doing it for Mark. You know, that's the reason we did it all. And as a mate of his, a close mate of his, if I was to let it fail, I'm not just letting myself down, I'd be letting him down. And I'm like, Saturday, I'm like, okay, I'm off, that's it, I'm done. And the back of my head was like, if he was to listen to what you were saying now, after everything that we've done and what we've gone through and where we are, he'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that. And like I've said to others, you know, there are quite a few in the group that have very personal attachment to this because of Mark.
Yeah.
I sort of selfishly said, you know, anybody could walk away tomorrow, you know, but it'd be me it falls down on. I'm like, no, because that applies to me as well. You know, I could cause just as much of a freaking catastrophe by doing what I'm doing. And not only am I letting him down, I'd let myself down, I'd let my family down, because Jen and the kids have backed me 100% of the way.
Yeah.
You know, they've allowed me to go off and do this stuff, and they've allowed me to take the time away, and I've missed out on some pretty important stuff, and, you know, so to throw that away would be throwing all their stuff away as well.
Sure.
And so that was like, yeah, no. So, yeah, I had a long, hard word with myself in tears in the garage on Saturday, and sort of like, okay, right, I can't throw it away. I can't walk away from it completely. I need some time away from it, granted, but this is where we need to be. And it's probably the wake-up call I needed, because like I say, I've learned quite a bit about myself over the weekend, and how I deal with things and how I deal with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I am. It's been a shitty 48 hours, but we're on the other side. We're still going. You know,
Right.
one foot in front of the other all the time. We're
And
still
we're here, right?
doing what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good that you've done that. And there's nothing more proud for me to see somebody who's gone through something and actually started talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
I think this would be another one of those things that if I didn't talk about it now, it wouldn't get spoken about. It'd just be shoved away,
Under the carpet.
and then at some point in the future,
Yeah.
it's going to come back. And like we said before, you know.
So this is what I want to speak to you about on here. This is the whole purpose, because you know you can go over a lot of stuff without giving too much away, but enough more about how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the importance of it. You don't need the details, but you just need to know. I just need to know how you're feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the sort of anonymity of being in here, it's you and I. You know, we're mates. We know each other outside. We can talk about stuff, but then there's nobody else. Well, hopefully there's some more people listening to the podcast when it comes out. But there's not an audience, and I've not got to sort of speak to everybody directly.
Sure.
You know, I can say this bit in the
Just
safety of being in here, and that's what helps, and that's what the whole point of this group and this charity is about, is creating that safe space that you feel comfortable and able to talk without worrying about pissing somebody off or not saying something to offend somebody or upset somebody. It's, this is my space, this is my time.
Yeah.
I need to talk about it.
Exactly. Very factual. And we have gone deep, dude.
It's proper deep this week.
We have gone deep. I like that. I like that.
I mean, it's weird because we get all sorts of feedback on the podcast. You know, someone like, love the banter, love the joking side of it. Maybe the language needs a bit toning down. Banter and language are a part of life, and you know that's what it is.
Yeah.
And like other podcasters will say, if you don't like language, you can find Radio 4 or go somewhere else. But the feedback we get is, we understand now what it's like to be in that situation, and we can talk things through. And like we've said before, alright, we've been quite deep today, and it's been quite cleansing for the soul. But at the same time, that's not what we want all the time, but we recognise when there needs to be a balance between banter and piss taking and a proper sit down 20-minute conversation.
Sure.
And this is one of those.
You gotta have a balance. And the thing is, for me, swearing is part of my soul.
Yeah.
It's a release.
Yeah.
You know, it's an absolute release. And also, when you have a bit of banter, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's not done to offend anybody.
No.
This is just, I'm feeling. If I'm swearing around you, I feel comfortable. If I'm not, it's like talking in front of my mum. I don't like swearing in front of my mum. But that's a different kind of comfortable, because that's not what we weren't brought up with it. We didn't have swearing around the house and things. But you soon realise that in the outdoor world, people swear.
They do.
But again, it's not. I'm not calling you a fucking prick and being horrible about it. I'm being specific that you are a fucking prick.
Yeah.
I'm just okay. All right. This is a bit of banter and make you prick. You know.
And the way I see it, it's just a bunch of lads having a chat.
Yeah.
It's mates just sitting down.
You go to the football ground, you go to the pub, you go anywhere. It's the same conversation. Nobody's being vindictive or horrible about it. It's just a way of life. And that's how we express ourselves.
Yeah.
And I've read somewhere that if the people that swear are the more intelligent, so I'll take that.
I am
because
it's
it's just part of, you know, that's what we do, and that's who we are, and that's what the whole idea behind this podcasting was, for people to realise that you can have those more light-hearted conversations about more serious matters.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take offence at it, and if it makes you feel more comfortable and talk about it that way, fill your boots.
Exactly. The thing is, we can't be dehumanised as well, right? We are what we are.
Yeah.
You know, we swear, we cry.
Yeah.
You know, everyone wipes their ass. We're all the same kind of person, right?
Everybody's the same under the sun.
Exactly. And I think what you've done today is a good opener for a lot of people. Actually, people can actually see that it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And if you don't, shit can hit the fan.
Yeah. You've got to, you know, people need to recognise everybody has feelings and emotions, and doesn't make you any less of a person for showing those.
No.
And when people are stopped from showing those emotions and being made to feel smaller because of showing the emotions, that's where the societal problem is.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to stop, isn't it?
Exactly.
So yeah. Mate, I've held my hands up before. I'm the first to cry. I'll cry at stupid shit as well. I'll watch like some soppy film or some advert. I mean, some fucking things just get you going, and you just got to accept that and recognise it. And if you
there's a lot of those kind of emotions that are tied to a memory somewhere.
Yeah, there's something that triggers something, isn't there? You know, it's something you've done with a loved one or somebody previously, or a family member or something that it'll cast your mind back.
Yeah.
And
that's why the Mufasa scene in Lion King is one of the most emotional, emotional scenes ever.
Yeah, it's right.
It's someone close to you not there anymore. You know what I mean? It's a cartoon, but it hits it. It
of course it does, and you find that person that's not next to you anymore, but you'll find them somewhere. Whether it's, like you say, it's a memory, or it's something you'll see it's something that, will hit you
True,
at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let it out, man. Let it
I
out.
like that. You know, I love the fact that we can actually speak openly about like this kind of stuff. And,
Yeah.
And we need to do it more often.
We do need to do it more often, and for too long, I've not done it.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say, I've been too busy consuming everybody else's problems, I think. But yeah.
Forgetting your own.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, I can't do it anymore, mate, because I can see the impact it will have.
Thing is, what people don't realise as well, it's not just you that it impacts, it's everyone else around you as well.
Yeah.
Like your wife, your kids,
Yeah.
they see it.
Yeah.
When they see the person that they love that's not very happy or going through some kind of stuff, they take on that weight as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it has a knock-on domino effect.
You know, you can see it afterwards. You get snappy. You lose your shit about stuff that you don't really need to lose your shit about, mate. It's absolutely ridiculous. You're kind of like, what am I done that for? And now I've got to go and repair the damage I've done by flipping my lid and shouting and saying, you're like, no, dickhead, take a step back, just let it happen.
Buy some chocolate.
Yeah, buy some chocolate.
Buy some chocolate.
Yeah, it'll make massive amount of chocolate consumption this week. But yeah, it is good. In a way, I'm glad it's happened, if that makes sense.
No,
I think it needed to happen.
Yeah.
It brought a lot of things to a head. Made me realise where I was and what I was doing and how I need to be better. So, yeah.
There's improvements there.
Yeah.
So you can do something.
Yeah, learn by doing, don't we? That's, that's our makeup, isn't it? If we don't do something, you don't learn from it. Whether it be right or wrong, or you make a catastrophic fuck up.
Yeah.
You learn from it.
You have that constant mentality, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it is broke,
you've got to do something
about
it.
You have
to,
right?
Yeah. And sometimes it needs to be broken to fix it. You've got to do something that's going to cause a chain reaction and do something about it. And I think the way my head was on Saturday, it was almost like I wanted to break something, to break through it, and then work out how to put it back together.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it was.
100%. Yeah, it was. And again, what happened, it was very, very minor. And like I say, I came away Friday night from the committee meeting and Saturday from the walk thinking, we're in a really good place.
Yeah.
And then it just hits you and you're kind of like, where the fuck's that come from? But then you realise, okay, maybe it's not just come directly from that. It's other stuff I've not dealt with.
So I'm going to ask you a question, right? I went through something a bit shitty last week, and it was only something really minor, and I was moaning to my niece about it, and she goes, I tell you what, tell me what went right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you that question. What went right?
Looking back on it now, because hindsight is wonderful, it's 2020.
Yeah.
What went right was we probably got not the perfect solution, but we've got the right answers coming out of it.
Right.
And what went right was I've been able to sort my shit out and realise what's important to me more than anything else. That being said, that's probably at the expense of some other people's feelings, which we will address and we will repair. But it's kind of that being selfish moment, I needed to do that. The same as somebody else could do it, and you sort of, fuck me, what a dickhead. But then you realise, okay, maybe that there was other stuff going on, and then you can kind of understand where they're coming from. So yeah, I've made peace with where I was on Saturday, understand why I was where I was, and now it's the rebuilding process to put things back in place to do it.
So asking that question, it just made me realise that everything's not that bad.
No. I'm still here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, unfortunately, that haven't come out of that and aren't here and aren't able to sort of think, okay, all right, I needed that, let's move on. But yeah, we've said it a million times on here, there isn't a problem that you can't fix as long as you ask and speak about it. So yeah, again, practice what you preach, Dan. I was having some problems, I was struggling, and I should have spoken about them. However, that's done. I can't change what's happened.
No, you can't.
But again, you learn from it and you
it's
do.
Addressed.
Yeah.
It's addressed. Well done, dude.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
No, I appreciate you coming today, mate, because I know everything's been up in the air the last couple of days, and I was like, oh, fuck.
It's been crazy. I jumped on board, and this
mate, yeah, it's the Vish effect. Welcome, mate.
I like all that shit.
But yeah, no, we go from here, don't we? We build from here, and we pick up the pieces and go again.
Yeah.
And that's what we keep doing. It just needs to, we all need to be mindful that you don't necessarily have to break before you get to this point.
Yeah.
And that's...
And you could have.
Yeah. Oh, good, yeah.
You could have.
Yeah. I mean, Saturday lunchtime, I was like, nah, fuck it, that's it, I'm done. I'm walking away from it all. Somebody else can do this. They do it better than me anyway. I'm just going to walk away. I'll sit in the background. And I'm kind of like, would I be comfortable sitting in the background? And that's where I've been, and that's what I was doing, and somebody else is there. And do I deal with their decisions? Oh, fucking, and everything's playing out in your head.
Scenarios.
Yeah. And it was, yeah, like I say, from sort of lunchtime till evening time Saturday, I must have gone through 50, 60 different scenarios in my head, a full range of emotions. But we've come out the other side of it, or I've come out the other side of it. Probably do a little bit of work with other people to get them through what I've done and what I've caused, but I hope that we can all realise where we're going now from here.
Just a little bit of clarity is what you needed.
Yeah.
And that'll happen, that'll come as well.
I hope so.
It will.
I hope so.
I'm going to make sure of it.
Thank you.
I'll make sure of it. I'll keep checking in as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so we have on to the next things. Live podcast.
Yes.
Fireworks show.
Yes.
Christmas events.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It keeps coming.
There's a lot of stuff coming up, but we'll approach it together. So
and from talking to others that are involved, one of them said the other night, and it's perfectly true. We need to be seasonal like your shops are. So it's no good us thinking, put me in podcast live in October. We leave it till the week before to promote it. Let's get it in early. Shops have got Christmas stuff out now, so it means we should be planning for Christmas stuff.
Absolutely.
That's where we need to get to. So yeah, that's where we go. And like I say, again, that's come out of some really good constructive work, and like I say, and that's probably part of the reason behind what I thought on Saturday was, we've got to a place now where people are doing the right thing in the right places, and I could almost leave that, which didn't help my thought process on Saturday. Right, they can do that, but it doesn't mean you've got to completely jump ship and leave it all alone.
No.
And
I'm glad you're still here.
Like I say, in hindsight, mate, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to myself. I couldn't do it to the family. More importantly, I couldn't do it to Mark. So that's where I am.
Brilliant.
So I appreciate it, mate. Thank you for listening again.
Mate, I'm here. I'm all ears all the time.
Mate.
You know that.
I know.
Just text one message or one call, man, and I'm listening.
Yeah.
So it's good to use those kind of tools when they're around.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and I think that's probably the message, isn't it, for everybody listening? You have that support network. It's there. Just don't be afraid to pick the phone up, and don't be afraid to ask.
No, exactly.
Because the help will come from somewhere you probably least expect it at some point, but the help is there.
Yeah, it is.
And I know Will has mentioned it. Liam mentioned it before. You build a support network of people that you think you have good support from. And it's only in times like this you realise, nah, they ain't fucking good for me. But then at the same time, there are people there that are good for you, and they're the ones that stand out in moments like this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they'll appear when you least expect
it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's just it.
Yeah, and it could be somebody you've not spoken to in ages. It could be somebody that you don't even really have a connection with, but somebody will put their hand up and say, "Well, dickhead, I've been there. I'll just pin your ears back and listen for a minute."
Yeah.
2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly. So obviously we're coming to the end of the show.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to ask you.
It's gone quick again.
Yeah, it's gone well quick. I'll flip the script a little bit, because normally we end with like a love spud, right?
Yeah.
So we've done that.
Mate, love spud.
We've done that.
The entire episode of love spud.
Give us a love plum.
Love plum.
Tell me something.
Love plum this week. Out of the darkness of everything that's happened since Saturday.
Yeah.
I think my love plum for me this week was we take the kids out for a walk on Sunday, and we'd gone around Daventry Park. We had a nice walk, took the dogs out. That was a good walk. But then what made me chuckle yesterday was I took Tilly out for a walk, and because of the way that our other dogs are, they're a fucking nightmare to walk altogether.
Yeah.
So Jen and Ray had taken some of the dogs off on their walk, and I had Thea with me. We were walking Tilly, and he's 5, right? But he has such a brilliant little character to him. He talks with his hands, and he's very much expressions in his face. He's a cool little dude. And we're walking on the field, and he was just rambling like he does, but having a conversation, and he's trying to involve himself. And he turns to me and says, he's doing cartwheels on the field. He says, Dad, he says, I'm too old for this now. I'm still chuckling. I'm like, okay, mate, you're doing cartwheels on the field, yeah, right. Why is that? Well, when I was 4, gymnastics was good, but I'm 5 now, I'm too old.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. And he carries on, and there's another bit of a conversation. He said, I'm older now. I'm like, okay, yeah. He said, I've been thinking. He said, I'm going to save my money when I grow up, and when you're a granddad. I was thinking, okay, mate, yeah.
Right, really thinking ahead of
He
time.
says, I'm going to buy my wife a car, and I'm going to have a gold Lamborghini. I went, okay, mate. He said, but I'm going to save my money. And I said, well, you can't have kids then. He said, why? He said, because you'll spend all them, they'll spend all your money.
Yeah.
And I said, so that means I can't be a granddad. He went, shut up, Dad. He said, you know you're going to be granddad. He said, you're going to take over from my granddad to be my kid's granddad. I went, okay, mate. And at that moment, you think, this kid's switched on, man.
He is switched on.
And you kind of think, and then coming back to, that's what I've been missing. And then you have that moment of, you know what? This is a nice fuzzy feeling. I'm having this conversation with him, and it's like having a conversation with you now. He's proper switched on. He knows what he's talking about. So yeah, that was my highlight of the week. Was my 10-minute little ramble with him yesterday. That was proper. I was still chuckling about when I got in. I was telling Jen about it.
You know,
he just come out with some pearlers.
This is perfect. It's a perfect example of what you want and actually what you need.
Yeah.
And that was what you needed.
Yeah, it was. It was the distraction I needed, and almost the jolt of, this is still here in the background. You seem to have taken your eye off this, but this is what you need, and this is what keeps you grounded. And just those conversations, mate, he was brilliant. I was pissing myself when I got in last night.
Dude, he switched on, man.
He is, man. He's I'll tell you what, at some point, and that's what else he said to me. He said, well, when I'm older, Dad, I'm like, yeah. He says, do you think I can run a charity? Oh. I said, yeah, of course you can, mate. He said, you can do whatever you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. I said, you could take over from me and run this one. Really? I went, yeah. He said, how old have I got to be? I said, well, legally you've got to be 18.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. He said, so if I'm 19? I was like, yes, legally.
You can do it.
He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And you kind of think, yeah. So for all the shit that they see and for all the stress, they still see the good in stuff. And they still very much, especially Ray and Theo, they're both very kind-hearted and generous kids, and the future's safe in his hands, I think.
I think so.
Yeah,
well done, dude. That's thanks to you and Jen, that is.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Pat on the back.
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, the little victories every now and again are worth celebrating, aren't they?
I love that.
Yeah, man.
That was wicked.
Yeah. And what about you?
Oh, mate, mine was the weekend away.
Yeah.
That was such an amazing love plot.
Were you in the hot tub until you were all wrinkly?
Yeah. So Friday I got there, it's about, what time did I get there? About 2:33ish. Literally got in there, first thing I did, I was dying for a piss, straight in the bathroom. Came out, didn't think about anything else, didn't unpack nothing, just in the hot tub. And it was nice because where it was, there was a tennis court in front of us, but it was completely secluded.
Yeah.
There was a house on the property, but they have told us straight, it's completely private, we won't disturb you. So, and it was called the Tranquility Suite.
Okay.
And it had like this amazing pathway which was all lit up. So at night when you're walking down this pathway, it's almost like a hedge over the top of you, and you're going through, and it's so well lit, it's gorgeous. And they've got like little. The way it was just done, it was just beautiful. It was just tranquil. It was exactly what it was called. The lights were in the right place, and you could see the stars at night. And that was one thing for me. I always wanted to just sit and look at the stars for a couple of hours and not worry about anything. So. Hot tub, bit of a movie, hot tub, pizzas,
nice,
Haribos.
Yes.
I ate shit. I don't eat shit.
Yeah.
I ate shit this weekend, but that was just a bit of a treat. And then literally just sat out there, had some outdoor sofas, just looked up, and that's all I did, and it was just perfect.
Yeah.
And I think recognising when you need it is so important. And it was coming out. I just come back from Valletta. That was great. I had a whale of a time there.
Yeah.
And it was a nice relaxing holiday as well as a wedding. This was just proper relaxing.
Yeah.
And I got to see my friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't drink, I had no hangover, no nothing. I was fresh as a daisy the next morning.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like shit.
Mate, it sounds bliss, and it is something that you have to do.
Is.
I mean, I'll have nothing more. We go away to the seaside, and you've got no light pollution. You're out in the middle of nowhere.
That's it.
And you can see everything. It's only when you sit there and sit still for a minute, and you realise, you know what, this is a big old fucking place.
And I saw the International Space Station. You can just see it.
Yeah.
Just one
fly over.
And you realise how fast it's actually travelling.
Yeah.
But that was phenomenal. It was faint, but I could see it. That's the second time I spotted it now.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit in Coventry.
No.
No.
You've got no chance, mate.
No.
No.
So that's my love club.
Good.
Had a fantastic time, and I plan to do it again soon.
It's got to be done. And again, we've discussed that, as part of this, taking not everything on board, spend some time away from stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And press ups, how they go, man?
Oh man, I'm loving them. So right now I'm doing about 125. So I get the 100 out the way, and I try and do the last 25 on my knuckles.
I've seen the videos.
So
yeah, I'm
actually enjoying it. I do. The hard thing is like when I first started doing the knuckles, I felt the pain in my wrists. I felt that because I know there was pressure out. But I persevered, because I only started off with doing 5 on my knuckles, then I went to 10. Now I'm on 25. I don't feel any pain anymore. I feel the tension of my arms, and that's purely because the muscles are building. That's about it. So I've done 60 today already. So now I've just got to do the remaining 65. Beautiful. But the extras are just a treat for me.
It's a treat.
Yeah. So I raised 1,200 quid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mate, that's awesome.
1,200 quid. And to be fair, the target was £500 for the month, and I didn't think I'd even do that.
Yeah, smashed it.
So
page still open?
It's still open.
Yeah, man.
It's still open. But the nice thing is it just goes to show who supports you.
Yeah.
And I had the amount of messages I've had about support and well done and we're proud of you, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
From going from where I was in February to now.
Yeah.
Huge difference. Huge difference, mentally and physically. And to have that support behind you, I tell you what, it just makes you want to keep going.
Yeah.
Makes you want to keep going. So I've been to the gym this morning about 6.
Good effort.
I may go again tonight.
I haven't been and I won't be.
Are you you're not doing the half marathon?
I'm doing the half marathon.
But you're on your bike a lot.
Allegedly. I'm on the bike a lot, mate. Yeah.
So you're getting the cardio in, which is the important thing.
I looked at yesterday, so rather back and forth work, and I looked yesterday, and I've had the bike since last May, and I'm almost at 1,300 miles.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm lashing in 100 miles a month on it.
That's pretty decent, mate.
But what worries me is obviously it's non-impactive on my knees.
So the
difference in running on for the half marathon. So yeah, we're going to get into it. Jen and I have spoken, we're going to start do the couch to 5k to begin with and get going. But then I think I need to be realistic with it. And if I get to a point where I can't do it, if I'm going to put myself out of action because I've screwed my knee up, I can't do it. And I'll take that. The others are on board. They're doing it, so that's good. So it's not like if I fucking don't do it, I'm going to let everybody down. There's other stuff I can do on a day, and anybody that's listening wants to come along, we'll be at the Cov Half Marathon. We'll need people on the stall and volunteers because we have to provide so many on the day. So there'll be lots for me to do if I can't do it. I'll be disappointed if I can't do it. But then at the same time, I did have an idea in my head about doing a sponsored cycle ride. So if I can't do the half marathon, then I'll put my efforts into doing that. So
I think easing your way into it is probably the wisest thing to do, especially if you're concerned about your knees.
Yeah, man, my knees are fucked. There's too many years of playing rugby and sport.
Then you know.
So, and I know I've already been to the doctors and physio and bits and pieces. So I know there is an issue with my knees. So it's just being realistic around what I do, because again, if I fuck myself up doing that, I'm losing my main job day to day, and that's where the money comes from. So it's mortgage, kids. You can't do that. You can't. So we'll see.
Won't be happy because you won't be able to afford chocolate bars.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. No, we'll manage it, and we'll see where we are at Christmas time once we get started and get going, and we'll go from there.
Good man.
Yeah, man. All over it. Onwards and upwards.
Alright, should we sign off?
Yes, man. Let's do it.
Right, I'll let you do it this time. I'm always doing it, so you can do it.
Okay. In that case, thanks, mate. I've really appreciate today. I needed it.
I'm glad.
I just hope that anybody that is listening, we can all have those moments where we think, oh, fuck this. I'm making a mess of everything. And you're not. You've just got to realise that you're doing the best that you can.
Yeah. And
you can't do any more than that. And sometimes that is all you can do. And you can't worry about doing any more. So that's the message from today. On that note, I'll see you next Thursday. Sweet. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude.